Good morning, everyone. This is Crypto Angel giving you a Bitcoin analysis for today, the 10th of January. Now, what you can see on my chart is quite interesting, at least it is to me, because I'm looking at Bitcoins and charts all the time. Here we have the white moving average at 200, and what I said was in earlier videos, I said the 200 moving average is going to be a very strong area of support for Bitcoin, and indeed this is the case. Now, when I made the last video, Bitcoin had actually come down to the 200 period moving average, but it hadn't quite gone through it. So what I thought was that we would get a touch of the 200 period moving average, and I said don't buy Bitcoin until we take out this high and come back and do a test of the 200 period moving average. Well, this is exactly what has happened in Bitcoin, and I've drawn an aqua line here, and this is the 10th of the 1st 2018 at 16:05, and this was the time that I thought that Bitcoin would actually get down to this area, and exactly within one bar that's where Bitcoin is. Now I'm going to go in a little bit closer to this chart so you can actually see what I'm doing. Now that was my level. I had two levels there, and I thought that Bitcoin might come to either one, this one or this one, and what it did is it came down right between these two levels. Now these two levels are not magic. All they are is the last area where Bitcoin was actually bought, and you can see here that as we had this decline, you had then a down candle. But what were the market participants doing in that down candle? Well, we know now that they must have been buying, because after this down candle there was a massive move to the upside. So that means that that's an area that I would look at for previous buy orders, because that was an area where the market last time came to, and there were obviously a lot of buy orders in there because it managed to propel Bitcoin up about $5,000. So that's just a purely technical reading of the market. So when you come back to these areas again, you expect a degree of buy orders which maybe weren't filled first time round to actually be sitting there still, and that's exactly what looks like has happened. So what's my entry method? Well, it's really quite simple. What I do is I take a line, very nice simple line, no indicators, because indicators are only right about 50% of the time, so they're not even worth having on your chart. Pure price action will get you into Bitcoin, and what I'm doing is I'm putting a line simply on the top of that candle like that. Now my entry method calls for this candle to close, so the 4-hour candle must close, and then if it prints as a up candle, then that's for me a sign that this market's ready to go up, and I buy the Bitcoin when it breaks the top of the previous 4-hour candle. So once this candle's closed, I draw a line on the top of it like that, and I simply enter the market with a limit order base there. So as soon as it goes through that point, I'm into the market. So that candle hasn't quite closed yet, so I'm not in a trade, and I have to wait for the candle to close. Now it could be that this candle shoots up, in which case I have to use a bigger stop, but the method is still the same. I'm looking for a candle close on the 4-hour chart, and I'm simply putting a buy order on the top of that candle. Now my stop has to go down below the previous swing low. That's the only way that you can play this game. So you've got to use the previous swing low as your stop level, and this means that you will have a stop if the candle closes as it is at the moment of about 72818. Now depending on what broker you trade, that will either be 728 points or 72.8 points. I don't know which broker or which platform you are, but that's not lots of stop for Bitcoin. So where do I think Bitcoin will actually get to? Well, I think that you should hold this trade for I'm just do a quick calculation how long I think you should hold it. And so what I'm going to do is just draw this line here, which is my estimation line. And so I actually think that you should hold this trade in Bitcoin till about the, let's have a look, till about the 14th of the 1st. I think that would be a good point to hold Bitcoin. Now, if I copy this line here and project up, we might get a price level. So that gives us a price level, and I've already drawn that up there, which is quite good. So I had a price level there. Let me put that back in, of about 17,349, so say 17,350. So that's my ideal target for Bitcoin, and simply stay in the trade until the 14th of the 1st. Now, it could be that it doesn't go up in a single push. Most likely, if that isn't the case, then what I would expect is that you would see weakness round about the 12th of the 1st. But I wouldn't actually necessarily close my trade there. I'd look for it to actually get to about 17,349.90. That would be my ideal target, and that gives us a great target of about, that looks to be about $3,000 in terms of a profit target. So that's a very lovely trade on Bitcoin. I hope you're enjoying this analysis. Please give a like if you like this video, and please make a comment. And also, if you want any other altcoins analyzed, please make a comment below, and I'll do my best to look at those for you as well. Thanks very much. This is Crypto Angel signing out.